Hello everybody and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John and it feels like I have been away for a long time, but according to my last video, the stats from my last video, that was like 5 days ago. I feel like I've been away for 2 weeks, almost a month. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't post anything on Wednesday I can't remember when the last time it was I posted a video, what day it was, but right now, my family and I, my wife and I, we're going through the process of refinancing our home. And to say that it is a headache is a complete and absolute understatement, because they're like, well, we need this from you, we need that from you, and we're like, oh my gosh, where are these things? You know, and we're down to the final things. I think they have to come and appraise the house, but so wish us luck. All right, because this would just really help us an incredible bit. All right, anyway, so today, as you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to talk about my top 5 favorite extreme horror authors. Now, another word for extreme horror is splatterpunk. All right, so what is splatterpunk or extreme horror? We're going to talk about it right here for a minute. Splatterpunk is a movement within horror fiction originating in the 1980s, distinguished by its graphic, often gory, depiction of violence, countercultural alignment, and hyper-intensive horror with no limits. The term for splatterpunk was coined by David J. Shaw. All right. So today I'm going to talk about my favorite, top 5 favorite splatterpunk or extreme horror authors. Now, some of these are just authors that I've already read one book by, but I have full intention of reading more by them. And also the thing is that this list could change later on down the line. I might read a new extreme horror author and go, wow, this is the go-to person for me for extreme horror, or not. It may stay the same. Anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and get underway, and I'm doing this completely from memory because I didn't write down my list. Well, I did, but it's on my computer. So, number 5, to me, this guy is kind of for me, this guy is the granddaddy of extreme horror as far as horror fiction. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and I'm talking about Jack Ketchum. So for me, the book with Ketchum that completely defined his role in extreme horror would have to be his first book, and that is Off Season. All right. So if you've ever seen a movie like Wrong Turn or a movie like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you mash those two movies up, you kind of have a good idea of what Off Season about. It is about this. I believe she's an editor. She's supposed to be really beautiful and hot and everything. She goes to this cabin in the woods, invites some people over. What she doesn't know is the fact that there is a cannibalistic family living in those same woods. All right, and pretty much these people go from enjoying a meal to being enjoyed as a meal. Let's put it that way. And Ketchum doesn't pull any punches about what is being done to these people. I think I read Off Season I think it's been about 10 years ago. I need to give it a reread, but it was just one of those books I'm just like, I've got to see what else is going to happen here, okay? And yeah, I need to give it a reread. You know what? I might reread it for my TBR this November. Anyway, but yeah, that is my number 5 pick, is Jack Ketchum, okay? All right, and another book that I possibly could have mentioned as extreme horror with Ketchum would be The Girl Next Door, but I chose Off Season because The Girl Next Door is talked about a lot. Let's just put it that way, okay? I mean, great book, don't get me wrong. And yes, it could be extreme horror, but it has been talked about almost to death, okay? Okay, next up, we have got Matt Shaw, all right? Now, I've read 2 extreme horror books by Matt Shaw. I do have more on my Kindle, but the one I'm going to talk about today is simply called Porn. All right, that is what it is called. Just you see this black cover with the letters, that's it, okay? I mean, this is almost like a representation of a book that you get in a black wrapper because they don't want you to see what is inside of it. It's been a while since I read this, so I'm kind of doing the plot from memory, but it is told in first person, if I'm correct, and it is told from the first person point of view of a pornographic actress, and it gets just more sexually extreme and violently, horrifically extreme as the book goes along. I thought it was very interesting that it was told in the point of view from the porn star from the first person, all right? Especially when you get down toward the end and we're talking about getting into the really extreme stuff, so to speak, all right? So yeah, that is why I chose Matt Shaw as my number 4 favorite extreme horror author. All right. Okay, number 3. Number 3, we're going to talk about Aaron Beauregard. All right. So I put Aaron Beauregard at number 3 because I've only read one book by him. I do intend to read more because this one kind of blew me away. But I also placed it at number 3 because I feel like I don't know. I feel like he just, with this book, he had everybody in it was just horrifically evil. You know, there was no room for any kind of goodness in this. And I thought, well, you know, that just seems kind of extreme, so to speak. But anyway, Yellow is about this guy and his wife. And this guy is a complete loser, all right? I mean, he is just... Him and his wife are terrorized by these gangs. They run this little store. They live above it. And they are absolutely terrorized by these gangs. And to the point of where she is raped. She is finally murdered by these gangs. He is so completely emasculated that something just goes right inside his brain. And he goes on the killing spree of all killing sprees, all right? What he does to this bank teller or bank manager in her own home with a fireplace poker, that's all I'm going to say, okay? Because that is all you need to know. Read the book, all right? So there you go. Aaron Beauregard is my number 3, all right? Number 2, and I almost put this guy at number 1. I've read 3 books by this guy, and he is absolutely fantastic, but there's one author that just was a little bit more extreme than this guy, a little bit more disturbing than this guy, but number 2 is Daniel J. Volpe. I have read Billy Silver. I have read A Gift of Death, but today I'm going to be talking about Talia, all right? Now, Talia first appeared in the pages of Billy Silver and was a very mysterious and smoking hot figure, all right, that Billy was just obsessed with. And the way Daniel wrote the character in Billy Silver, you just wanted more. And hey, thank you, Daniel, for giving us more. Thank you for more Talia, okay? And I hope to see more of this woman in the future in your books. Talia, in the beginning, or in Talia itself, we found out that Talia was an adult film star, and she was pretty much willing to do anything in front of the cameras, all right? But then one day she has to do something, or she's kind of forced to do something that she just doesn't quite agree with, and they don't like the fact that she might go to the police, so you can imagine what happens there. But anyway, Talia is reborn as this, she's almost like a cross between a hellhound and an avenging angel. I mean, she goes after these bad guys and just, it is absolutely horrific, all right? So that is why I am putting Daniel J. Volpe at number 2 in my top 5 favorite extreme horror authors, okay? Now we are getting to the number 1, and the number 1, and it is because of his book, The Groomer, I choose John Athan as my number 1 pick for my favorite extreme horror author. Now, I have read 2 books by Athan. I have read Into the Wolves' Den, and I have read The Groomer. The Groomer is the one we're going to talk about right now. The Groomer I've mentioned books in this thing that pull no punches. This one doesn't pull punches. It doesn't pull kicks. It doesn't pull anything. It just lays it out bare bones on the table. And it's about, what it's about is this family whose little girl is kidnapped by this organization, so to speak, that what they do is they exploit and they harm and they kill children. And they film it and sell it to these sicko pervert pieces of shit. Okay, that's what they are. All right, that's exactly what they are. All right, so this little girl is kidnapped. The father goes on a rampage, and when I say rampage, I am talking about a flat out balls to the wall, balls out, everything balls rampage of revenge and destruction to get to the top, to get to the people in charge of this organization, to try to get his daughter back home safely. That is all I'm going to say about it, okay? There were things in this book when I read it, I was just like, oh, okay. I just had to stop for a while reading it, you know. And it is a fantastic example of extreme horror at its most extreme. Pardon, no pun intended. Yeah, it's awesome. All right. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite extreme horror authors, or splatterpunk if you want to say. Now, will I be doing a part 2 of this? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe my list will change somewhere down the line. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to post this on Monday afternoon. And until then, take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.